Hello students, in this video we will study chapter 8 respiration in plants and animals, and this video is part 1 of chapter number 8. Children, in this video we will study the topics and we will cover the topics breathing and respiration, respiration in plants, respiration in animals, and respiration in humans. So let's see. So let's start. In detail we will study. First here definition is given of respiration. So let's see what is the definition. Respiration can be defined as inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide. As we know, respiration process is what? Intaking of oxygen and taking out carbon dioxide. The same inhalation of oxygen means taking oxygen in and exhalation means taking out. So carbon dioxide taking out coupled with the chemical reactions that release energy from digested food. Means in the respiration process, during with respiration some chemical reactions also going on, and in these chemical reactions energy also released from digested food, and that whole process is called respiration. So we will study in detail. Here it is given energy is the basic requirement of all living organisms. As we know, for living organisms energy is very important. If energy not there in the body, then we are useless. We cannot do any work without energy. So energy is very important. It is the basic requirement of all living organisms. It is required for the ongoing life processes inside the body. Means inside the living body, inside the body, all the life processes ongoing, all the life processes energy is needed. And for the activities performed by an organism, means for any activity if will be performed by any organism, so what is required? Energy required. Energy is obtained from the food consumed. From where we get the energy? From food which we consume. And respiration is the process through which energy from food is released for use by the body. It means what? Respiration is that process in which energy from the food, means what we taking the food inside in the body, that energy is released from the food which we are taking, and that energy used by the body, and that process is what? Respiration. So here we will study in detail breathing and respiration. Means what is breathing and what is respiration, and what are the difference between breathing and respiration. So let's start. Here respiration is a process which release usable energy. It means what? Respiration is that process in which what more release? Energy released. Okay. It occurs in all living cells. Means respiration is that process which occurs in all the living cells, in all the living organisms. Respiration is a form of combustion in which food is burned in the presence of oxygen to release energy. Means what? Respiration is a form, means respiration is process is a form of combustion. Combustion means what? Something is burned, something is burning, you know. So it is like a process of combustion in which what? Food is burned, means in which food gets burned in the presence of oxygen. Means in the body oxygen is there, so in the presence of oxygen the food we take, it gets burned, and it release after burning it release energy. So that's why respiration process is also compared with the combustion process in which food is burned in the presence of oxygen and release energy. But there is a difference between combustion and respiration. But there is some difference between combustion and respiration. Okay, what is the difference? See, during combustion energy is released rapidly. Means in the combustion process, in the burning process, energy rapidly means fast energy release. But here in respiration, whereas during respiration energy is released in a gradual stepwise manner. Means slowly energy released in the respiration process. Okay, it takes time to release the energy during the respiration process. This ensures that at each step energy can be stored in different form. It means what? This process tells us that, this process ensures us that what? Energy in the body, in the living body, stored in different forms, and it used by the body. Respiration involves two basic phenomena. Now respiration having two basic phenomena means two basic processes. So what were the first is breathing. Okay, now what is breathing? See, the process of breathing, the process of exchange of gases. Now here breathing and respiration both are same process. Okay, but only some difference is there. So what are the difference due to which it is separated, why it is separated, and what are the differences? See, we will see. Here first breathing. Breathing is also a process of exchange of gases and respiration also. But in breathing what happening? That is inhalation or intake of oxygen. Inhalation means what? Intake of oxygen. And exhalation or release of carbon dioxide means exhalation means what? Releasing of means taking out carbon dioxide, and that only that simple process is called breathing. Means what? Taking oxygen in, release oxygen carbon dioxide out. This process is called breathing. Such type of respiration is called external respiration. Means this type of respiration is called as external respiration. Why? Because this process is happening outside the body. Means from nose we take oxygen in, and from nostrils only we take carbon dioxide out. So this is externally this process is happening. That's why the breathing is considered as external respiration. Different plants and animals have different organs for respiration. Means what? Different plants and animals also what? All the plants, all the animals are living organism, and all are having different organs for respiration. As humans, what we have nose for our respiration, for our breathing process, but all different animals and plants, they have different organs for their respiration. Humans and some other animals breathe through special organs of respiration called lungs. As what we have for respiration? Lungs. Okay. So in different animals, some animals also have lungs, some animals other organs have. So every living organism have special organ for respiration. Okay. So here this process is breathing only here going on. What? Oxygen is going in, and from carbon dioxide is out. So this process is considered as what? External respiration in humans. And cellular respiration means external respiration is breathing. Cellular respiration we will see what is cellular respiration. But cellular as the name, by the name we can see cellular means cell, means it is happening inside the cell. This type of cells are present in the body, so that the respiration is happening inside the cell. It will be in the cell, and cellular respiration is also there. We will see what is this. Okay, so here now we have came on the second process, which is cellular respiration. One is breathing, second is cellular respiration. Okay, now what is cellular respiration? See, this involves a series of chemical reactions which take place in the body cells. Cellular respiration is what? In this process, there are some chemical reactions involved in this process, and this process happens in the body cells. In the living organism, in the living body, cells are present. So this chemical reaction process happen in the cells. Inhaled oxygen helps in the oxidation of digested food. It means what? When any living organism inhale oxygen, taking oxygen in, so that oxygen what doing? That oxygen helping in the digesting of food, in the oxidation of digested food. Means in the presence of oxygen, that food gets digest, and what release? Energy release and heat. Means in the body also during the digestion process, energy and heat both released. This type of respiration occurs in all living organisms, ranging from very simple organisms like bacteria to very complex organisms. Means what? Respiration occurs in every living organism. Means from a small singular organism, from a small bacteria to the very large animals or very complex organism happens. Means respiration occurs in every living organism. Such type of respiration is also called internal respiration. Means cellular respiration is also called as internal respiration. Okay, here now difference between breathing and respiration has given. What means, as we have right now, we have seen that what is breathing? Breathing is external respiration and cellular respiration is called as internal respiration. Here one note is given in that yellow box. Let's see what is this. Okay, the amount of inhaled air contains 21% of oxygen and 0.04% of carbon dioxide. Means what? When we inhale air having carbon dioxide, oxygen, all the gases. So when we inhale air, so we inhale what? 21% of oxygen and 0.04% of carbon dioxide. But while the air we breathe, means after breathing, what we leave from our body, what from nose, that contains 16.4% of oxygen and 4.4% of carbon dioxide. Means we release 16.4% of oxygen and 4.4% of carbon dioxide. So this is for your knowledge. Okay, so here we will see the difference between breathing and respiration. What are the differences in the breathing and respiration process? So here we can see breathing. Breathing. It is a physical process in which oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. It is a physical process, means it is a external process. It is a physical process in which what? Simply oxygen in and carbon dioxide is given out. So respiration is what? It is a biochemical process. Why biochemical process? Because it happens in living organism. So it is a biochemical process in which what's happening? In which glucose from the food. Children, glucose is present in the food. So that glucose from food in the presence of oxygen, means when we inhale oxygen, in that presence of oxygen, that food is oxidized, and to what their food after when we exhale, what it produce? Carbon dioxide and water. Second point, it occurs outside the cells. Breathing occurs outside the cells, means in the small cells the breathing process is not happening. Only cellular respiration or simply respiration occurs in the cells, but breathing is not occurring inside the cells. It occurs outside the cells, and respiration occurs inside the cells. Third point is, there is no release of energy in the breathing process. No release of energy, only oxygen in, carbon dioxide out. But respiration is what? There is a gradual and step-wise release of energy. Means this is a slow process, but what release? Energy also release step-wise. Okay. Here next is respiration in plants. Now we have seen respiration in what is breathing and what is respiration. And as we know, every living organism what have breathing process and respiration process. So we will see what respiration in plants. Now here particularly, specifically, we are studying about the respiration in plants. Okay. So here we should know, did you know part we will see. Did you know part? Diffusion is the movement of gases from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Means what? Diffusion. That word diffusion you may have heard, and you must be knowing the meaning of it. Diffusion means what? Spread hona beta. So diffusion is that process in which movement of gases, means what gases we if happening inside the body and where anywhere. So if gases spread from a higher concentration to a region of lower concentration, means from high concentration to low concentration, if the gas is moving, spreading, so that process is called what? Diffusion. Here respiration in plants. Okay, so during the day, plants use carbon dioxide to prepare food. As we know, the photosynthesis process. In this photosynthesis process, what happens? In the presence of carbon dioxide, plants prepare food. So this is that only. It is given that only what? During the day, means daytime, plants use carbon dioxide to prepare food. Means they take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and this carbon dioxide they use for to prepare food and release oxygen. And what? During the daytime, plants take carbon dioxide in, and what they release? They release oxygen. But at night, opposite happens. At night, the situation is changed. What? They use some of this oxygen to oxidize food. Means at the night time, what they does? They take oxygen in to oxidize their food to produce energy, because plants also require energy, and energy can be released in the presence of oxygen. So in the night time, plants take oxygen in and produce energy and release carbon dioxide in the process. When the process oxygen gets in, so carbon dioxide what it will release. So at the night time, the process is opposite. Means during the daytime, what happening? Plants are taking carbon dioxide in and release oxygen out. But in the night, they taking oxygen in and release carbon dioxide. Why? Because to get the energy, to get the food is oxidized, because plants also prepare food, they also need food to get oxidized. So here at the night time, the process is opposite. Here plants do not have any special respiratory organs. As we know, plants are not having any special respiratory organs as humans have. Humans have what? Lungs, nose, you know. So these are special organs in the humans for respiration process. But plants do not have special respiratory organs, but different plants have different parts participating in the process of respiration. But different parts of the plants can participate in the process of respiration. In different plants, different parts could be there. It is not necessary that all the parts have taking the same part for the respiration only. Some different parts have different different parts for the process of respiration. So here, exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen in plants occurs through the process of diffusion. So as I have told you, what the exchange of gases, the moving of gases. So moving of gases, what? Exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen. This process occurs through the process of diffusion through small openings in leaves and stems. As we know, plants have what? Small openings, and these small openings are present in leaves and stems. So that exchanging of carbon dioxide and water means diffusion process happening through the small openings in leaves and stems. Carbon dioxide rich air from various parts of the plant diffuses out, means carbon dioxide is present in air from various parts of the plant, means from different parts of the plant carbon dioxide diffuses out, means diffuse out from the plants. And oxygen rich air means oxygen from outside diffuses into the plant, means at the night time what's happening? Carbon dioxide is coming out and oxygen is going out from the atmosphere. Gaseous exchange in plants is much slower than in animals. But what? Gaseous exchange means the gases exchange in plants is slower than in animals. It means as we humans, as we other animals, what? Fastly they can take oxygen in and release carbon dioxide. But the plants does this process very slowly. Okay, then here that respiration in plants only has given how through small pores through stomata. Small pores are called stomata. So how through stomata they does exchange of gases, and that the whole apparatus is called stomatal apparatus. So we will see what is stomatal apparatus. Okay. There are a number of small openings in the soft aerial parts, stems and leaves. Means in the stems and leaves of the plants, there are a small number of small openings. Means a number of small openings, small pores present here in the soft aerial parts. Means in the soft parts of the stems and leaves, there are a number of small openings of a plant for gaseous exchange. Means for gaseous exchange, there are small openings present in the leaves and stems of the plant. These pores are called stomata, and as we know very well, these pores are what called as? They are called as stomata, and singular form of stomata is stoma. Stoma means single cell, single opening, and many openings, many small pores are there, so it is called stomata. In leaves and lenticels and stems, means in the leaves these small openings are present, that is what? Stomata. And in stems, if it is a small pores, a small opening, that is called lenticels. Means how the lenticels are in the plant. See, this is stem. Okay, so in the stem, this type of dots you might have seen. So these are called lenticels. Okay, they have small holes through which what? Exchange of gases takes place. So here These pores are called stomata in leaves and lenticels in stems. The stoma, guard cells and other nearby cells together form the stomatal apparatus. Means three type different parts. Means stoma is a small cell, small openings. Guard cells, their guard cells are here, and some other nearby cell, and they all this form a stomatal apparatus. As we can see in this diagram, what here stomatal opening. This is a stomatal opening, means when stomata opens, there are this type of structure present created here, and these cells, as we can see, the cells present near the opening are what? Guard cells. They are the guard cells, and the cells outside nearby, they are called subsidiary cells. So this all this together forms a apparatus which is called as stomatal apparatus in a leaf. So here we will see first point. Stomata are small openings for the gaseous exchange. Stomata are what? Very small pores or small openings for the gaseous exchange through which oxygen is absorbed and carbon dioxide is given out. Means through which what happens? Oxygen is absorbed and carbon dioxide is given out. Second point, two guard cells control the opening and closing of stomatal openings. Means what? The two guard cells, as we can see, this is the guard cells. What they does? They control, means they controls to when to open and when to close the stomatal openings. They expand and shrink depending on the flow of water from the surrounding cells. Means when the water supplies in the cells, they expand, and when the gases goes out from these openings, they what? Again they shrink. Means expanding and shrinking. They who controls? Guard cells controls. Third is several subsidiary cells support the structure and function of the stomatal apparatus. Means what? Subsidiary cells. What are the? Where are the subsidiary cells? There are the cells. They are subsidiary cells. They support the structure and function of the stomatal apparatus. Means what? The stomatal apparatus. Who is supporting these functions and all? Who is doing? Subsidiary cells are supporting that function of the stomatal apparatus. Here, oxygen is supplied to cells in the roots of plants through the process of root respiration. Means oxygen can be supplied through the roots also, through the roots of the plants also, and when the oxygen supplied through the roots, so that process is called root respiration. Means through the roots the process of respiration has been done, so that called root respiration. Root cells get oxygen from the air trapped between the soil particles. Means from where roots get the oxygen? The roots get the oxygen from the air which is present in between the soil particles, because roots are in the soil. So from the soil, roots takes the oxygen which is trapped between the soil particles. This is why if a plant is overwatered, root cells cannot get air and are not able to breathe. Means we should not overwater the plant. Why? Because overwater the plant does not allow to the roots to take the air present in the soil particles, and in this case they are not able to breathe. Okay, now here we will discuss respiration in animals. Now what are the respiration in animals? What is the process? We will see. Here, did you know, very important, in air oxygen content is 21%. Means in the air oxygen amount is 21%. But whereas in water it is 0.5% at 37 degrees Celsius. Means at the water temperature 37 degrees Celsius, oxygen amount is only 0.5%. So this is for your knowledge, it is given. Okay. So here next topic is respiration in animals. We have studied respiration in plants. How through different parts the respiration process occurs in the plants. But how respiration occurs in animals and through which organs, we will discuss in this topic. So here animals take oxygen either from water or air depending on their habitat. We know different animals have different habitat, like aquatic animals, they take oxygen from water, and then some oxygens which live on land, they take oxygen from air. So depends on the different habitats. So animals can take the oxygen either from water or air, but it is depending on their habitat. Okay. So here One more in this given, unicellular and small multicellular animals. Now animals also have categories. Okay, unicellular animals and small multicellular animals. We'll see what are these. See, unicellular, by the word uni means one. One cell organisms are unicellular and many cells organisms are multicellular animals. So in unicellular organism means unicellular organism include all protozoa and bacteria. Bacteria are what? Unicellular organisms. Each cell respires independently and carries out oxygen of gases individually. Means each cell respires independently because they are one cell organism. So they respire and independently. They do not depend on any of this cell and carry out the exchange of gases process individually. Okay, single cell organism. But here simple multicellular organism like sponges and hydra also show respiration at the level of each cell. Now because in the multicellular organism many different cells are present, many different cells respire. So the sponges and hydra, they also show respiration at the level of each cell, means each cell of this organism respires. Okay, now hydra and sponges, how they look, see, this is hydra, okay, and this is sponges. They are present in water. It is present in sea. So they are multicellular organism. They have many cells in their body. So each cell of their body what respires, does exchange of gases process. So like sponges and hydra also show respiration at the level of each cell. Water flows through the body of sponges and hydra, allowing gaseous exchange by each cell of the cell membrane. As the water flows through from their body, so from the body of hydra and sponges, they allow water. They allow from the water to take the oxygen, means to do the gaseous exchange, and the gaseous exchange does the process. In this process, each cell of the cell membrane does this process of gaseous exchange. Here, higher multicellular animals. There were small multicellular animals. Now, here higher multicellular animals, what they do? Higher and complex multicellular organisms have specialized and advanced organs of respiration. Means higher multicellular animals, they have special or advanced organ for respiration. They have special organ for the respiration process. First is skin. Means some higher animals can respire through skin also. Okay, let's see what which type of animals. Like animals like earthworm, as it is given in this picture. Animals respire through its skin. So like animals, leeches. Now leeches, as you know, what are the leeches? Leeches, this type of, this is what leeches, leech. Okay, so here animals like earthworm, leeches and some amphibians breathe through their skin. The skin of these animals is smooth and remains moist. Means this type of animals, their skin is very smooth and moist. You know? Means they always, it is like wet. So they respire through their skin. The skin is supplied richly with blood vessels so that it can carry oxygen to the rest of the body. Means in their skin, blood vessels are there so that oxygen when absorbed in these blood vessels then carry the oxygen to the whole body and bring carbon dioxide from the body parts and release it. And this skin and blood vessels only taking the carbon dioxide from the all the parts of the body and then release from the skin only. Okay. Then here, second part of the animal's respiratory organ is gills. Okay, some animals through the gills also respire. How? Gills are special respiratory organs which facilitate breathing in aquatic animals. Aquatic animals do breathing process through which part? Through the gills. Okay, like fish. Like fish, prawns and mussels, the gills have a large number of filaments. Now gills are having large number of filaments that are richly supplied with blood capillaries. Now as we can see, what are the filaments in their gills? In this gills part, what is there? This type of filaments are there. Okay, these filaments are there. These filaments having this small parts, you can see they are what? Blood capillaries. Okay, they are having oxygen and they only carry the oxygen in the whole parts of the body of the fish. So Gills are large number having a large number of filaments which are supplied with blood capillaries. They help gills release carbon dioxide into the water and help what helps they help to release carbon dioxide into the water because fish lives in the water, so carbon dioxide they will live in the water only. They also help fish take in oxygen dissolved in water, and gills only help to take the dissolved oxygen from water to take in their body. Okay. Then second special organs, see fish breathe with gills when they water in, so that water goes in the gills, and in the gills these small blood capillaries are there, so that oxygen absorbed in this blood capillaries, and these blood capillaries then carry the oxygen in their whole body, and through there only again carbon dioxide comes out and released in the water. Second special organ for respiration is spiracles and trachea. Now, in which type of animals this is there? Insects like grasshoppers, mosquitoes, etc. respire through very fine air holes on their bodies called spiracles. Now, spiracle is a special hole in their body, and insects like this type of insect like grasshopper, mosquitoes, etc. they have a special hole in their body at this part, which is what? Spiracles. Okay, this their special holes is there, which is what? Spiracles. So spiracles, air enters through the spiracles and is distributed all over the body by tracheal tubes. Means the air enters through these spiracles, and what happens? This air enters through the spiracles, and after entering it distributed over the tracheal tubes. Means there are the tubes are there in their body, so this air then enters in the tubes and distributed all over the body. Trachea are branched respiratory tubes. Trachea are branched respiratory tubes which open on the surface of the body. Means trachea are tubes in their body which opens on the surface of the body. Means on their surface of the body only trachea tubes are there. Oxygen rich air enters the trachea through their openings and reaches internal body part. Means after spiracles in the tube, trachea tube, the oxygen enters in the trachea tube and reaches all the internal body part. Here oxygen is used up, means after reaching the oxygen, all the body part used up the oxygen, and then carbon dioxide rich air is released from the spiracles. Means from this part only the carbon dioxide release. This tabular air passage system helps in the gaseous exchange in small animals. Means this type of tabular air passage, means there is air passage which helps this system to do the gaseous exchange in small animals. Then last part is what? Lungs. Means through the lungs also what happens? Through the lungs also some animals what? Do respiration process. So lungs are the specialized organs of respiration in higher animals like birds and mammals. In birds and mammals what they have present? Lungs. Gills present in tadpoles are replaced by a pair of lungs. Means when the frog are in a when it is in a small position, means when the frog gets born from their body, what when the means when the frog is small in its age, so they respire through the gills, but as they grow they have means they develop a pair of lungs, and after as they grow into frog they respire through the pair of lungs. Frogs also respire through the skin and buccal cavity. Means frog having multi respiration organs, means they can respire through their skin also. Okay, and here this birds and this frog it is given different parts how they can respire. Birds having what? Air, they can enter air through their part. Then they have front air sacs, means that balloon type air sacs they have, that air enters in their part. And this trachea, means their trachea, through trachea the air enters then in their air sacs and it enters into the whole body in the lungs they have, and from there again it goes into the trachea and removes the carbon dioxide. Same process happens in the lungs, in the frogs also. Air enters through the nostril, then enters into the lungs, then lungs respire and take again the carbon dioxide from the body and release from the nostril. So that was the process, how respiration happens in the animals. Okay, then the next topic, respiration in humans, we will cover in the next video. Okay children, thank you.